Some of you might know us from America's Got Talent, or maybe you've seen us on The Ellen Show. Or if you're like us and you don't watch TV, you have no idea who we are.
We would love to tell you more about our accomplishments, but that's not why we are here. We're here to pull back the curtains and tell you the story that TV didn't tell, and give you our top 3 secrets to transcend.
My name is Tyce.
And I'm Mary.
We are Duo Transcend. Transcend means to rise above or go beyond the limits of. We're going to show you how we rose up and transcended the failures and challenges we faced, and how you can do it too.
I was raised right here in Huntington, West Virginia. I had a great childhood, but some of my earliest memories are of feeling shy, different, and self-conscious. I was diagnosed with both autism and dyslexia, and I felt very insecure around people. In an attempt to help me overcome the insecurity, my mom enrolled me in ballet and theater classes, and it worked. I found my place in this world, and it was to be on stage performing because all those insecurities and worries melted away.
In my early teens, I was diagnosed with an eye disease called keratoconus. The disease causes eyesight to digress rapidly. It was inevitable that I would one day lose my sight completely. Without vital surgeries, I would lose my sight. It was my dream to always be a professional athlete. But because of my vision, I knew that I had to do it differently.
To make some extra money while going to college, I became part of a high diving act in a cliff diving show. As fate would have it, that's where I met Tyce, who was also performing as a diver. And then it happened. During a rehearsal for one of our shows, I lost my balance, fell off the diving platform, missed the water, landed on concrete, shattering my right heel, and my dream of ever being a professional dancer. After my 2 surgeries, having metal permanently holding my foot together, and facing the possibility of having my foot amputated, I knew I would never dance at that level again. While I was recovering, I saw my first Cirque Du Soleil show, and I was inspired by a trapeze duo. It was like ballet in the air. I had found a new dream. I asked Tyce to be my partner. We fell in love and got married. When we told people we wanted to do trapeze for a living, they didn't take us seriously. They literally thought we were joking. We could have listened to them, but instead, we followed our hearts.
So, we went to work. After years of trapeze training in 2013, we were ready to show the world. And what better way to do that than trying out for America's Got Talent? Our audition went really well. And the judges kindly gave us their judgment. Straight no's across the board. They were brutally honest. They told us that we had a lot of work to do before we were ready for a stage like AGT.
We were crushed. That hurt. It left us broken. Once again, dreams shattered.
But going backwards was not an option, and standing still was not enough.
We had worked too hard to only come this far. We went home, developed a new plan, and Duo Transcend was born. For 5 years, we trained harder than we've ever trained. We also welcomed our son into the world. That little boy ignited a fire in our hearts to be the best that we could be. With a new look, style, and most importantly, our transcendent mindset, we were ready. There we were again on the AGT stage, trying out again for the 2nd time. And this time, the judges loved us. They put us through to the 2nd round. Simon's comment to us after the 1st round was, "I want to see you really step up your game." So naturally, we did what anyone else would do.
Yep, we lit our trapeze on fire and blindfolded me. The routine was going flawless. It was our final trick. If we caught it, we knew we would move on to the next round. Mary blindfolded me and then got into position. I remember feeling the heat from the flames making my hands sweatier than usual. I called out to Mary, "Hup!" She dropped just like we practiced. With all the strength I had to catch her, I felt her slip through my fingers, falling headfirst to the stage in front of the world. It was one of the most frightening accidents to ever happen in AGT history. The judges sat speechless with a look of horror. Miraculously, Mary got up, rattled but not injured. She looked up at me, and then to the judges, and with fire in her eyes, she said, "I would like to go back up there and do that trick again." The judges were in complete disbelief, as was I. They were blown away at her bravery to want to go back up and try again. Their response was, "Wow, you really put it all out there." The judges were so impressed they voted us through. We made it through round after round, becoming the first ever duo to make it to the top 10 on America's Got Talent.
Unfortunately, we didn't win, but our dream was not shattered. We went on to work for Cirque Du Soleil, ballet in the air. Because the video of our fall went viral, a doctor reached out to Tyce and did a procedure that saved his eyesight. 2 years later, we were invited back to compete on AGT Campions, where past AGT winners and finalists compete against each other. We climbed our way back up to the top and made the finals once again. Act after act kept getting eliminated until there were only 2 acts left on stage, us and one other act. We could actually be the first trapeze act to win AGT. The winner's name was called, and it wasn't ours. We took second place. We did not win, but is that what matters? For some, maybe that's all that matters. For us, what matters is that we continuously rose up as a team. Through this entire process, we learned and applied 3 keys to transcend failure and challenges we all face in our lives. Key number 1 is perspective. Failing in 2013 and having the judges embarrass us was one of the best things that ever happened to us. We had to take a good, hard look at ourselves in the mirror and ask, are we being honest with our ambitions? Where do we go from here? Should we lower the bar? In that moment, we realized we had a choice. We could walk away with our trapeze lowered, the easy thing to do, or we could transcend.
When failures and challenges strike, and they will, you have to feel it, sit in it, and learn from it. Let me illustrate. When Mary slipped through my hands and fell in front of the world, I knew I failed. It was my fault. I sat on the trapeze 20 feet in the air, frozen. Failure in the moment is all about your own perspective. Right after she fell, I ripped the blindfold off and I saw that she was okay. When Mary asked if she could go back up and try again, that taught me a new perspective about how to overcome challenges and failures. Mary showed unwavering courage, bravery, and determination. She showed me that in the moment of facing failure, that you can rise up. She never blamed me once. In fact, after we walked off stage, for a brief moment, we were alone. Mary looked me in the eyes and threw her arms around me and whispered in my ear, "Are you okay?" How powerful is that? Again, talk about perspective.
We took a risk, and we made a mistake. We could have dwelled on that mistake, but instead, we felt it, sat in it, learned from it, and still went after our dream. Don't let a moment decide the fate of your dreams. That is the first key to transcend your failures and challenges. Key number 2 is practice. It is not enough to just gain the right perspective. You must now take action. We knew if we wanted to make it back to AGT, we had to transcend even in practice. The most common question we are asked is, how do you stay motivated? Our answer surprises most people. We are not always motivated. We don't always enjoy training hard in the gym. Discipline, dedication, and commitment is stronger than motivation.
For example, we had ingrained a daily practice regimen. We changed the way we ate, worked out, and even vacationed. We did 3 training sessions a day, strength training in the morning, trapeze in the afternoon, choreography and technique in the evening. We practiced 5 days a week, took our trapeze bar on vacations. We filmed our practice sessions and studied them nightly. All of this was non-negotiable.
If we solely relied on motivation, we would have given up years ago. Whether you are a student, a small business, or an athlete trying to take it to the next level, you need to ask yourself, are you relying solely on motivation, or do you have the discipline, dedication, and commitment to not give up no matter what? Stop waiting for motivation to come to you. When you implement these 3 things, the motivation will come to you, and you'll find a new love and passion for what you do. To transcend, you have to practice at the highest level to perform at the highest level.
Key number 3 is to perform. Backstage on the set of AGT, we were able to develop relationships with all the other contestants, and we noticed 2 distinct mentalities amongst all of them. The first was this: I'm going to save my best act for the final round. See, their plan was to hold back and do just a little bit better each round so that they didn't run out of ideas for the final round. The second mentality was, I'm going to do my best act for the first round because I know if I don't, I won't make it to the next round. And if I make it through, I will come up with something better. That's called putting it all out there.
As we climbed our way to the top 10, we noticed that the only performers left on the AGT stage with us were the ones with that same mentality. See, when you leave it all out on the table and do your best, just when you think you have nothing left, you're able to see and create things you could not see before. That's what it means to transcend.
Simon even recognized this. He came up to us after our quarterfinals round, and he said, do you know why you keep making it through each round? It's because you put it all out there. I see it, and the audience does too. The 3 keys in review: number 1, perspective. You've got to feel it, sit in it, and learn from it. Don't let a moment decide the fate of your dreams.
Key number 2, practice. Remember, motivation comes from discipline, dedication, and commitment.
Key number 3 is to perform. Remember, it's all about the 2 mentalities. Put it all out there.
As you now know, our journey has not been easy. It is filled with challenges, setbacks, and failures. But we wouldn't trade them for the world. Don't let someone else's perspective of you define who you are. You are the one who decides that. When we fell in 2018, we showed America how to get back up. Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid of living in regret for never trying to do something extraordinary.
Who would have ever thought that a kid who was told that he would never be a professional athlete because of his eye condition would be on America's Got Talent, work for Cirque Du Soleil, and be headlining in a Vegas show with some of the best athletes in the world?
And who would have guessed that this shy girl from Huntington, West Virginia, would be on America's Got Talent, work for Cirque Du Soleil, and be headlining in a Vegas show, and doing ballet in the air, all with the man of her dreams? The reality is, we came close, but we never ended up taking first place on the AGT. Adversity has taught us to transcend. To us, that is first place. We are living our dream. You may not take first place every time, but you can achieve your dreams too. Because now you too know how to transcend.
Our challenge to you is to rise up and transcend. Thank you.